Good evening, everybody. How you doing tonight? How y'all doing tonight? Who we got up in here, man? You can see that light shining. Oh, it's reflecting off that picture back there. Got a hyper glow right there. That light is reflecting off that picture, so you can see it. Got a hyper glow on the picture. When I take it off the picture, then you can see it on the top. The top. Move it that way. Break it down some. Okay. Got it off the picture. Got the top good. All right then. Fix that. Probably move. Fix that. Probably move. Took care of that. Now it's reflecting off something over there. What is it reflecting off over there? I don't know what it's reflecting off of over there. I don't know what it's reflecting off of over there. Might be that. I don't know what that is. It caught my attention. Yeah, I think it's might be reflecting off the thread. Like it might be reflecting off the thread. Anyway, I'm sorry about that, y'all. That squirrel and it got my attention. And it got my attention, man. What's going on, man? Let me share my screen with the Discord before Jim pop in and be like, "Hey Tim, can you share your screen with the Discord, please?" Let's see who we got up in here. Shout out to Jim in the Discord, man. What's going on, Jim? Shout out Kashaya. Kashaya said, "Wow, I'm first." Shout out Kashaya for being first. Notification gang. Shout out Here to Learn and Share. Shout out Shop Girl BK. Shout out Tish. Shout out Deborah, all the way from the back of the class. Shout out the Black Al Davis. Who else we got up in here? Got anybody else up in here? Y'all drop something in the chat so I can see you, man. Good evening to everybody that's tuning in. If you on the tube, right? We over there on the tube. That's what we looking like on the tube right now. All right. If y'all wanna see the screen on the tubey tube, right? Yeah, let's see if we can. I probably can do it like this. You can see what a tube look like. Then that's the screen over there we're gonna be looking at in a minute, but that's me on the tube. If you want to see the tube, pull up on YouTube. If you just want to, see it on IG right there with the screen, we about to get right into it. But if this is your first time tuning into Tim's Tip, good evening. If this is your first time tuning into Tim's Tidbits, please allow me to say welcome. Hola, Marco. If it's not your first time tuning into Tim's Tidbits, I still want to say welcome and give you the nice hearty thank you for always tuning into Tim's Tidbits. If you don't know who I am, my name is Timothy Lee Rogers Sr., a.k.a. Aranya Grande. I know that sounds aggressive. I know that sounds scary. That's just Big Spot if you don't hablo Espanol. And you are now in tune to another episode of the Intraday Price Action Recap. You feel me? Hey, I done shouted at everybody that done put their name in the chat. And let's get right into it, man. Let me get this pictorial of myself out of the way, right? Share my screen with y'all, and let's get right into it. As always, if you inside the Discord and you feel like If you have something that you want to address or something that you want to bring to my attention, something you to say, hey Tim, got a question. I got something I don't want to share. Oh, speaking of Discord, let me go back full screen for a second. Hey, if you are a monthly YouTube member, you clicked on the join button and you support the channel by paying the monthly subscription for the different membership tiers. I'm going to be switching that all over to WAP, right? I'm thinking of making March 1st the drop dead date to switch over. So soon I'll start saying, hey, click the link pinned to the top of the chat or click the link in the Discord to go over and switch your subscription over to WAP, right? Now, as far as the YouTube side of it, you have to go in and you will have to go in and stop that. I can't stop that for you. You have to go in and stop that, you know what I'm saying, when you switch over to WAP, unless you just feel like paying twice, right? You have to switch that. You have to stop that when you go over to WAP, unless you just feel like paying 2 times. But WAP helps automate everything for me, and WAP only takes like 6%, whereas Google takes 30%. I've been giving Google 30% off the top. WAP is the website that I use to do the boot camp, and now I also use to do my 101s. If you want to book a 101, it's called WAP. If you go to WAP.com, right? If you go to WAP.com, and I don't want to go to my dashboard, I want to go just to WAP.com. Look like I'm gonna have to sign out just to show you what it looks like. All right. It's just WAP is just a place that's like Patreon. It's like all those places like Gumroad. It's just like it's just a place. YouTube sticking you up, Google sticking you up. It's just a place where you can come. Like, let me share my screen, right? Because if you look here, this is WAP, right? This is WAP.com, right? You can just come here, and it's like a marketplace. It's a marketplace where you can you can sell courses, you can sell mentorship, you can sell one-on-ones, you can sell. It's just a marketplace, and just like Patreon, Gumroad, all them other things where you sign up through stuff, but WAP it's kind of like Gumroad and all that stuff. So you can but I'm switching over to WAP, and like I'll have a link that takes you directly to mine. Just like when I was doing the boot camp, I had a link. I was like, if you go in there, and then with WAP, it makes it easier. Like, if you know what I'm saying, if you want to do like discount codes and stuff like that, it's more flexible. I got more flexibility with WAP, right? I got more flexibility with WAP. And then like if somebody say, hey Tim, can you do the Discord for like a annual membership? Like I could set it up to do like a annual membership where, you know what I'm saying, just say, you like pay for 10 and pay for 10 months and get the whole year. Like I can do it, you know what I'm saying? Just say if it's for easy math, for easy math, just say if it's $10 a month, and then that'll be 120, but you pay 100 for the annual year. I could set it like that with WAP, but with, you know what I'm saying? Because before people like, dude, can you set it for like annual? But I can't control YouTube like that. I have no control over YouTube. I have no control over how they do it. I have no control over anything. Only thing I do is put it up there. They take 30% off the top and tax me on 100. Uncle Sam taxed me on 100. but YouTube take 30% off the top, right? So I got to work all that out with the creative accounting. You know what I'm saying? This what I made, this what I paid out. These were my expenses. This I got to get creative with that. Now we're gonna be doing that. So stay tuned for that. Everybody that still want to stick around and be a part of the gang, I will appreciate it. Right? Those who decide, hey, I don't want to switch over to nothing else. Tim, you can kick all the rocks in Columbus, Georgia. I'm out of here. Hey, I love you too. No harm, no foul. I understand people don't be wanting to change. The Deep Seek messed up a bunch of things, LOL. PA has not been the best. The Deep Seek has nothing to do with that. PA has not been the best. Yolanda, since you unmuted, you sent me my picture.
No, but garbage, a French word.
But Deep Seek has nothing to do with the price action being. Price action has been messed up for at least 2 years. I know for a fact I've been talking about how garbage price has been because of the who heard me talk. I've been speaking a lot of French words, right? Whoever heard me use the French term divergence. If you heard me use the French term divergence in the past 2 years, put a 1 in the chat. I know you don't understand. A lot of y'all don't speak French, but if you heard me use the French term divergence in the last 2 years, put a 1 in the chat, right? And then if you heard me use the term garbage, that's another French term. If you heard me use the term garbage, right, put a 1 in the chat, right? So we've been talking about this well before anybody named Deep Seek, Freaky Zeke, Lil Teek, Myreek, Tyreek. We've been talking about this well before Deep Seek came around. Don't let the news headlines fool you, right? They put stuff in the news. It's fake news. It's fake news. It's all fake news. They put stuff in the news to, you know what I'm saying, try to make sense of it in their little minds because they don't understand how the price action really works. But we've been having difficult times, right? For Sage and anybody else that may be unaware of it. If you look at the indexes, right? The U.S. has 3 major index. Well, it's 4 really, but people only talk about 3. You got the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the ES. Those are the ones that people always talk about. We also have the Russell, but a lot of people don't talk about the Russell. But the big 3, the Dow, the ES, and the NASDAQ, those are the big 3, right? And when you look at the big 3, if we put it on, like, look at daily candles, right? And we're going to go to the continuous chart, right? That's the continuous chart for the Dow, right? And then we're going to add in the continuous chart for the ES, and we're going to add in the continuous chart for the NASDAQ, right? AKA Inquisha, right? So we got these up here, right? And we put them in here on this is our daily chart, right? These are the 3 sisters, right? When one is going up, the other 2 should be going up in like a relative. The candles ain't got to be exact, but these are daily candles, right? And if we look right here, you see this right here? This is well before anybody said anything about Deep Seek, right? This right here is December 5th, 2024 through December 17th, 18th, right? You see how the Dow is going down, right? Then look at the ES. What is the ES doing during that time? It's just consolidating. It's consolidating, then it drops. What is the NASDAQ during that time? It's going up, and then it drops. They call that divergence. That's a French term. We've been talking about this. If we go all the way back to summer 2023, right? This is like July right here. This is July 2023, right? July 2023, we're going like all the way back here, okay? And then you can see how they were pretty much going, like just doing well together, going up, coming down, right? And then when we got to a certain place in time, right, it started getting really bad, right? It was like everybody was working together well during this time. This is like summer 2023. And then we would start getting like little pockets where we would have some like weird divergence. Okay, here we go here. Now this is that's 2022. I'm sorry. This is 2020. I said 2023, but this is 2022, right? Everything was looking good there. Now, when we get over here, right, and we get over here to summertime 2023, right, we start getting these weird pockets when things just started getting kind of ugly, right? And the more, let's see if we can find some here, right? The more time, it like you see, we have like a few here and there, like over here, like like the candles ain't got to be exact, but they still overall going up the same. But you starting to see little pockets of stuff not playing right, right? You can see like little pockets of stuff not playing right. The candles, they go in the general direction, but they starting to look different, right? Like how they get in there starting to look different, right? And we starting to see these little weird little times where you're like, hey, they're not playing nice together, right? They're not playing nice together. And then we come over here in 2024. When we get to 2024, it's starting to get worse, right? It's really starting to get worse, right? We looking at it like, hey, man, we starting to see more and more divergence popping up. These pockets are getting worse and worse, right? It's starting to get worse and worse. These little pockets are getting worse and worse, right? This is early 2024 here, right? It's just getting bad. Look, you see right here, it's starting to get worse and worse. Like they not playing nice together, right? And then when you get over here at the end of 2024, coming to 2025, right? You can see we going through stretches where we just going in opposite directions between these right here. We've been talking about this divergence for a long time, right? We've been talking about this divergence for a really long time, and the divergence is just getting worse and worse and worse, where it's not just 1 or 2 days, it's turning into like days and days and weeks of differences, right? Like this right here is September 2023, and these are weekly candles here, and you can see how we got this pocket of like these are weekly candles, but this is like coming straight down. Stretch this up, right? These are weekly candles here, right? The Dow is coming straight down pretty much here, right? But the NQ is consolidating and then dropping. The ES consolidating and then dropping. But the Dow is just dropping the whole time, right? And this is back in September 2023, right? So that's when we were still getting like them little pockets, but the pockets was getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And now it's like fully realized what is going on in price, right? Price is complete garbage, right? So now, do anybody got anything for me before we get into the price action recapify? Thanks for the explanation. How to play around these things in case of crazy differences. When you're dealing with decoupled markets, go for base hits. You're just going for base hits, all right? when you're dealing with decoupled markets, you're not holding your swing trades for all that long anymore. You're not holding your day trades for all that long anymore, right? You're being very selective when you enter on your swing trades, right? And you're buying more time for your options because we got this divergence. We are going to chop suey at any moment, right? So you want to be selective about when you're entering. Like yesterday, I bought some puts at the end of the day yesterday, right? And then today they hit 100%. I was out of there, right? I bought them for Friday. I bought it at the end of the day yesterday for Friday. It hit 100% today. Boom, I closed it, right? Can it keep going up? Right? Can it keep going up? Hey, I don't care. My actual target was that high right there, right? Coming back to this high right there, but it hit 100% today. I'm out of there. I ain't gonna try to hold it till it get to that high. You know what I'm saying? Might do something stupid and do a pullback on me. And I bought it for Friday. I can't sit through no pullback when it's expiring at the end of the week. Man, that old crazy theta come through and tear my pockets out. You feel me? She don't care nothing about your money, right? So you want to be real selective about your entries, right? On your swings, very selective. And then you want to buy time to give you some time to chop, right? So it can go into chop. You're buying time in case you get into some chop. For day trades, you're being selective with your entries, but you're also going for base hits, right? If you trade in the NQ, you know what I'm saying, jump out there, don't expect no more than 15 to 20 points on your trade. If you can squeeze more juice out the turnip, if you're trading on low time frames, you know what I'm saying, and you can manage to get 40, 50, 75 points out of the trade because you entering in on 1 minute time frames, 30-second time frames, and you got all the stars aligned, and you trading back to like a 15-minute or an hourly high, and you can squeeze more juice out of that. But when it's really choppy, 15, you know what I'm saying, 15, 20 points. Hey, 15 points on the NQ, that's $300. There ain't nothing to shake a stick at. Hey, 15, 20 points, get out of there. Make your money go. Don't try to sit there and trade all day long. You try to sit there and trade all day long, you're going to get the money back. Make you buy 15, 20 points, get up from the computer lead. That's $300, $400 in a day. Can't beat it. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you copy trading. You know what I'm saying? If you copy trading, you Gucci. You know what I'm saying? Like me, for example, today, right? This morning, right? I didn't get an opportunity to trade. I was on with the boot camp. Then after I got off with the boot camp, you know what I'm saying? Price, I was going to trade during lunch because I saw something set up. It didn't come pick me up at my price that I wanted. It ran off without me. I came back this afternoon. Price wasn't really giving me what I wanted in the afternoon, but I was able to jump in and get me a scalp. You know what I'm saying? I was trading across like 6 accounts. Boom. Hit like 250. It was just a small trade. Boom. $250. That ain't nothing but like maybe 12 points, I think. You know what I'm saying? 12. What was that? 10. Yeah. About 12 or 13 points. Somewhere around there. Less than 15, 300. It was less than 15 points. Right? Scalped it out. Boom. Across 6 accounts. You know what I'm saying? 250 across 6 account. What's that? 1,500. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at it. You know, but just base hits, man. That's how you deal with these things here. Hey, look here, Sage. I ain't asking no more questions from you right now. Who else got something besides Sage? Sage filling up the whole thing with questions over here right now. What's happening? What y'all got? These just jokes, Sage. I appreciate you. But I'm so serious. What y'all got for me? Y'all sit? Y'all ain't got nothing? I'm still waiting on my picture. That's all I got to say.
We going to soccer. I got to do it when we come back.
Hey, I guess we going to do the price action when the soccer over, y'all. I ain't got my picture, so I ain't in the mood to do no price action recap.
It's in your imagination. Imagine a nice picture coming your way. You see it?
Oh yeah, I see. Thank you. Hey, we opened up over here last night. Here, this is our New Day opening gap. For anybody who don't know what a New Day opening gap is or don't trade the ICT concepts, Sam B says, what would be your step-by-step process before entering a trade? For example, step 1, find an ARP. Step 2, wait until my structured time frame trades into that ARP. Step 3, drop to my entry time frame and look for my entry model. I conclude the steps. That's it. Step by step. Step by step. For anybody who don't know what a New Day opening gap is, a New Day opening gap is the difference between the close of the futures market at 5 p.m. on one day and the open of the futures market at 6 p.m. Right? So that halt between 5 and 6, the difference in price between the close at the halt and the open after the halt, that gives you your New Day opening gap. If that's between a Friday and a Monday, that gives you your new week opening gap. Right? Because you're starting a new week. Same thing, the close at 5 and the open at 6. But if it's between Friday and Sunday, it's a new week opening gap. If it's Monday and Tuesday, it's a new day opening gap, right? So our New Day opening gap is here. We got a bullish New Day opening gap. We opened up at 21,343 and a quarter. That's what we opened the day up with our trading, right? These are hourly candles. So I'm going to, well, you can see on the hourly what we did, right? On the hourly, right? Price consolidated, right? Pushed up above the buy side during the London, right? Traded up into the 4-hour fair value gap that we had annotated, created. Let's see if we hit it or made relative equal highs, right? Took out the buy side. Once we took out the buy side during the London, right? Price dropped down, taking out the sell side, right? Dropped down, taking out the sell side as we came into the New York morning, right? Came down, took out the sell side, dropped down all the way down into, look like we got into the wick of this order block right here, right? Let's see. Yes, we traded down into the wick of that order block right there. There was something else down here that we traded into that we was looking at this morning. I can't remember what it was. What are we looking at down here? I know we was looking at the Asian low, right? We was looking at the Asian low here, and it was something else we was looking at down there, gang. Who remember? Somebody on the boot camp that was on the tape reading session with us, who remember what else we was looking at down here under the Asian low when we were saying, okay, now we're looking for a reason for it to come back up because we did not want to see it come to this low from yesterday afternoon because the other sisters was bullish, right? Because I remember we was talking about, hey, if it comes there, it's going to go without us, right? Because the other sisters are bullish and we want to see it show bullish intentions here. And then we got that, the bullish intentions, and we went all the way up here and then closed off of the high, right? Closed off of the high. Can somebody tell me what type of day this is, right? What type of day was today? Can somebody tell me what type of day was today?
Bullish. We opened, manipulated down, went up, and then closed back into the candle.
Okay, and what do we call that? What do we call that?
Oh,
Shout out Kashaya. Shout out Kashaya. What do we call that?
C-E,
Say again.
C-E-R-D?
Oh my goodness. Campbell, help your mom out. Uh, it's what's the noun? Give me the noun.
Oh, A-M-D?
That's the verb.
That's the verb. The power of three.
The
Look at
power of three. Today was a power of 3 day. It was a bullish power of 3 day, right? We had accumulation from the 6 p.m. open all the way over here to just before the New York Open. We have manipulation. We went down, right? And then we had distribution up here, right? We came up here, right? Above an old high over here, a old high there, right? Pick a high. There's a high there. There's a high there, right? We're going to pick this high right there. And then we distribute above that high, backed off of the high, pull down, right? Power of 3 day. If you look at it as a line, right? You have the open, the low, the high, and then the close, right? There's your line. There's your line candle right there, right? There you go. So it was a power of 3 day. Now, every day is not going to be a power of 3 day. What makes it a power of 3 day is because we have the elements that make a power of 3. We got accumulation, manipulation, and distribution, right? When we consolidate, that's accumulation, right? When the market makes a strong move in the opposite direction of the draw, that's manipulation, right? And then when the market trades back in the direction of the draw, come to that draw, and then distribute positions and close off of the high or low, that's the distribution. So we have all the elements of a power of 3, right, playing out. Accumulation, manipulation, and then distribution, giving you your power of 3 day, right? So we had a power of 3 day today, all right? That's just looking at it on a 60-minute chart, right? Let's go down to the 15-minute, right? Let's go to the 5-minute. Let's look at the 5-minute. Let's get more detail in here, right? So looking at the 5-minute chart, right? Remember what we talked about. This right here was the Asian low, right? If you can see, I don't know if y'all can see that line. Let me thicken it up. This line right here, that's the Asian low, right? That's the Asian low. This point right here, this is the London high. All right. Let's put some titles on here. Buy side liquidity, London. Okay. Right. That's the buy side liquidity for the London. Let's put it in the center. All right. Make it bigger. Okay. Then we're going to get this sell side liquidity, Asian. All right. Make it bigger. Put it in the center. Okay. Boom. Now, let's go down and mark out our, we talked about this earlier too, our first presentation, fair value gap, 930 is here. Okay, 931 candle. This is our first presentation, fair value gap right here. All right. For anybody who don't know what the first presentation fair value gap is, that's the first fair value gap that's created after 931. No, that's not it. That's the 931 candle. So we can't use that one. This is it right here. Right? That's the 931 candle, so we can't use that one. So this is your first presentation fair value gap right here. right? Because this candle here, you can't use that candle there because that's the 931 candle, right? And then that 9, wait a minute, let me see. Let me get my mind right. All right, so if I put it on regular trading hours, yes, you can. So that is it. That's it. I had it right the first time. First presentation fair value. You can't use the 930 candle, but you can use the 931 candle. All right. And if you don't know what I just did, I put it on regular trading hours, right? If you ever get confused, like I just got confused about which one you can use, if you put it on regular trading hours, right, and it still creates a fair value gap on regular trading hours, then you can use that candle. If you use, like if I use the 930 candle, right, if I use the 930 candle as the fair value gap, then it won't be a fair value gap there, right? It won't be a fair value gap there because it's like it's not 3 candles. See, you got like the last candle and then a 930 candle is the first candle, so it won't be a fair value gap that's present. So you can only use it from the 930 candle afterwards. All right. So yeah, I did have it marked right the first time. Okay, so sometimes I be confusing myself. I have a lot of stuff running through my mind. All right, so that's our first presentation. Fair value gap right there. It's a bearish one. Bearish first presentation. All right. Now, here we go. So we're just going to talk about the New York session. We're not going to talk about all this other stuff here. We just talk about the New York session because, you know, that's all I feel like talking about today. So we already said today was a power of 3 day. We walked through what price did on the 60-minute chart. Now we're going to look at it on, well, we were looking at it on a 5-minute chart, but now we're looking at it on a 1-minute chart. All right. So when we open up here at 9:30, right? When we open up here at 9:30, we were going up, price was coming down, and then we started to move back up here, right? We came up above this high right there on a 9:30 candle there. We pop above the consolidation, right? Wick up above the consolidation. Let me spread it out some so y'all can see the candles a little bit better. Make it, you know, make it so y'all can see the candles bigger, right? Stretch them out, stretch them out. So when we opened up at 9:30, we had been trading down, right? This is the 9 o'clock candle here. Started trading down at 9 o'clock, right? We pushed back up, pulled back down into this bullish fair value gap right here, right? Because we traded down here. Let's see, what did we take out below this little consolidation we have been doing for a while, right? Right then this black line, I don't know if y'all can see it. There's a black line right there. That's the midnight open, right? That's the start of the day for the algorithm. Thicken that up right there. Thicken it up, and I'm going to make it dashed so we'll know. That's the midnight open. That's the start of the day for the algorithm, right? That's the start of the day for the algorithm right there. That right there is our first presentation, right? And that was on the 1-minute time frame, right? And that up there, that's our new day. That gray one is our current new day opening gap from today. All right. So now we trade down below the consolidation that we have been doing for a while, right there at the midnight open. As you see, price was just hugging the midnight open there, just consolidating. Right. If we go back and look back all the way over here, when we came to midnight, we did a whole lot of other stuff right throughout. Remember, we made a high up here in London. We marked out that high. So the low has been made in Asia and the high has been made in London, right? So what does that tell us leading into this? I know I wasn't going to talk about this, but I'm talking about it anyway, because you can't just talk about one thing. What does that tell us? The market has been showing bullish tendencies all night, right? Well, Tim, what do you mean? Right? Because when we opened up, right, we traded up, trading above buy side liquidity, right? We came down, made a low in the Asian, never reached that low from yesterday afternoon, right? We traded above a high from yesterday afternoon, right? And then we came back and set a low in Asian, but never traded below a low. But you know what I'm saying, from yesterday afternoon, right? We didn't trade below that low. We didn't trade below that low, right? So we never traded below a low from yesterday afternoon. Then we came over here, right, and took out the Asian high, right? We came up, took out the Asian high, traded back down below midnight, then went up and set a high during London, taking out another high from yesterday, right? Let's see here. Nope, that wasn't a daily high. It wasn't a daily high, but we took out another high from yesterday, right? That was from yesterday, New York morning, right? That's from the high from New York morning right there, right? So we took out another high from yesterday, right? But we didn't take out the Asian high, right? So price has been showing bullish tendencies all night, all right? So as we come out of the London, we trade back down to, right, the opening price, right? And we just start consolidating, hovering around the midnight open, right? And if we grab our Fibonacci tool and go from the London low, the Asian low up to the London high right there, if I can get it on there, right? We're fairly close to equilibrium, right? The midnight price is fairly close to equilibrium. So when we see here, right, we kind of hung out there for a while, and we're kind of consolidating there, very near it, right? We come below equilibrium, above equilibrium, below equilibrium, right? So we're kind of hanging out right there at that midnight price, you know what I'm saying? Right around, we're very close to equilibrium, okay? Of the entire range that we've done so far. All right. Now, once we start coming toward the New York Open, right? Now we understand where we at. Once we start coming toward the New York Open, here we are at 8:30, right? We come down, hug midnight open, drop down below the midnight open, push up, and take out the highs above that consolidation that we made above the midnight open, right? Hit there. God dog it. Right? So coming into the 9:30 open, we come up above, take out the buy side, drop down, take out the sell side. What do we call that right there? What's that move there called? When you attack buy side, right, and drop down and take out sell side at a specific time of day, what do you call that move right there? Somebody tell me. What's going on, Empire Tradings? Somebody tell me. No, not the wig snatcher. You take out buy. A Judas swing. Thank you. Thank you, Tish, for giving us the French version. Le Judas. Le Judas. Shout out Tish for coming up with the correct spelling of the French version. Le Judas. Right? Judas swing. Shout out Wells J Rock. Shout out Here to Learn and Share. Shout out Tish. Shout out Seawalk. Shout out E-Rock. Shout out everybody that gave the right answer. Le Judas. Right? So we get a Judas swing here. That Judas swing, right? When we look at the Judas swing where we came there, what did we create during that Judas swing? The first fair value gap. Y'all know what I'm saying? The first presentation fair value gap was created with Le Judas. Right? Whenever you're below any PD array, right, you're looking for it to be used as resistance. Right? So we're below the first presentation, right? The market has given us a Judas swing, right? The market has been bullish all night. When we're coming into a new session, what do we anticipate coming into a new session? Right? Manipulation. Very good, Wells J. Rock. Right? We anticipate manipulation coming into a new session. Right? Since we're anticipating manipulation and price has been showing bullish tendencies, right? You want to see the manipulation to the downside, right? To give you an opportunity to get involved with the bullish move. Okay? So we get Le Judas, right? We get the first presentation fair value gap, right? We trade back up into the first presentation fair value gap, and then we attack the sell side, right? Once we attack the sell side here, remember, we had some more sell side sitting down here, right? But the other sisters, the Dow had taken out the Asian during the London. The ES wasn't even trying to come to the Asian low. No, it was on its way, but it hadn't taken it out or something like that. But anyway, we had bullish divergence, right? We had bullish divergence, and the market had been showing bullish tendencies all night. So at this point right here, this is when me and the gang, the boot camp members were saying we want to see some bullish intention here. If price decides it wants to go there, it will go without me, right? Because we want to see the bullish intentions. Why? Because of the divergence, because of we want to see the manipulation. So since we want to see the manipulation, we want to see the divergence, right? At this time when you get here, right? As price starts to trade back up, just thinking out loud. Let's do this right here. Once we get here, right? Once you get here, okay, what are you thinking about for this first presentation and this SIBI right here? What do you want those to become? Right? If you want bullish intentions here, you're at your ARP, right? What do you want these to become? Who is Ivan? Who is Ivan? I want to know who Ivan is. Inversion fair value gaps. Shout out. So they're not inverted. We're not saying that they're inverted, with even though it makes sense in my head, right? You want them to become an inversion fair value gap. You want to see them become an inversion fair value gap, inversion of itself, right? They're not inverted. You want to see them become inversion fair value gaps, right? Okay. Or Ivans, as J Rock say. Wells J Rock. Hey, so you want to see them become inversion fair value gaps at this point. That's how, whenever you see Michael talk about, hey, note such and such SIBI or note such and such BISI, annotate that as an inversion fair value gap. That's all he doing, right? That's all he's doing, right? He's just looking at, okay, we've come here. Price is actually bullish. This is our manipulation leg, right? When I start seeing, you know what I'm saying, what I want to see here, I know, annotate that as an inversion fair value gap. Annotate that as an inversion fair. That's how he's calling the inversion fair value gaps before they become inversion fair value gaps, right? People ask me all the time, Tim, how do I see it before it happens? Looking for signatures. I don't have a crystal ball. You look at the signatures and say, if price does this, then it should do that. I know y'all probably tired of hearing me say that, but I ain't going to stop saying it because that's all it is. You hear me? Okay, so now we come down into the liquidity here, right? Once we come down into the liquidity right there, now gang, remember, well, the ones that was on the boot camp, you will remember this morning that when price got here, let's put one more candle on. I ain't gonna act that cocky. When price got here, right here, right? At this time, I said I definitely don't want to see price come here because everybody here, these are trapped traders right there. They are trapped, right? Let me see who on here. Just use the correct term because I heard Michael get highly PO'd because somebody was saying the fair value gap has become inverted. It's not become inverted. It is an inversion fair value gap. If you're going to teach my concepts, use the correct terminology. That's just like when I'll be like, hey, this fair value gap ain't been mitigated yet. And I heard him snapping on somebody on another channel. I think it was Ario, however you say his name, because he be like, it was mitigated, unmitigated. And he was like, hey, it's not mitigated. It's repriced too. There's no such thing as an unmitigated PDub rate. It's either repriced to or not. If you're going to teach my concepts, use the right terminology. I feel his pain. Me and him the same age. We the same age, so I feel his pain. If you gonna put some respect on my stuff, you gonna put some respect on it. Put some spec on it. Okay, right here. Right at this point in time, who was on here? I see Jim here. I see J Rock up in here. Yolanda. Who else? I don't see nobody else from the boot camp. Okay, so yes, but they can verify that for you if y'all want to ask them, right? Said these are trap traders here because all the other price has been bullish, right? The other sisters are stronger, right? The Dow took this low out way earlier and was up there, and so the Dow was pulling back. Right. And I said they're either all pulling back to get our running start or they're pulling back to go down. And if they're pulling back to go down, they're going to go down without me because this is our manipulation. We're looking at this as the manipulation down. Right. We've come here. And how do you know you've trapped traders? Right. Because we came down. Right. We displaced away. We came here. You see this little displacement there. Right. You got people who, when they saw this low, they figured we was up too high, so we was gonna they got in on a breakout, right? They put their stop there, right? We created this fair value gap, traded back into that fair value gap. Some people got short off of that for a 2022 model, right? We took out liquidity, created a fair value gap, traded back into the fair value gap, 22 model, right? They put their stop there. So now you got stops on stops just pulled up right here, right? And so the market went down, came back and bust them in the head immediately. Boom, bust them in the head, right? So now, if they stop was there, they're out. If they don't have a stop, they're trapped. If their stop is here or here, they're trapped. So now they're either out or trapped, right? And since they're trapped, this breaker right here, the job of that breaker is to stop them from getting break even. Right? That if they entered on a breakout there, that right there will put them break even. If they entered here somewhere, that will put them break even. So you don't want to see price coming down here at all. Trap traders down there. Okay? Now, understand the concept of them traders got trapped. Now that we talked about them traders getting trapped, right? And as you see, when we came back into that fair value gap right there, right? Trading into that fair value gap right there, came pretty close to the low of that almost invert. It wasn't an inversion fair value gap yet, but it was very close to it, right? Came that low on that candle is 21,232.25, and that low of that SIBI over there is 21,232. So one tick away from the low of that SIBI there, right? Came down inside the wick of this breaker right there, right? Stopped it there. Got the sensitivity at the wick. Traded into this fair value gap here. And we also talked about this here, right? We had this nice expansion candle with no wick. And then we had this expansion candle here. Whenever you get that third candle as an expansion candle, right, you really want to see this act as a breakaway gap, meaning you only want an institutional order flow entry drill and go, or you don't want it to touch it at all and go, right? Leaving the majority of or the entire thing open. You want to see it act as a breakaway gap. We talked about that too, right? Trap traders, expansion third candle, breaker should stop them from being able to break even, right? Institutional order flow entry drill, and we move up. Right? Inversion fair value gap, just like you want it. Come up to the first presentation. You don't fall victim because you're saying, okay, we create the first presentation, we trade away from it. Now we coming back. I can get short off of a first presentation. Nope. You're not going to fall trick because you know you're not going to fall victim. You know this is the manipulation leg. You know we're going up. So you want to see this become an inversion fair value gap. Even though it's in the premium of this move, you want to see it become an inversion fair value gap, right? We come up there and pump fake a little bit, try to fake people out. Oh, it's going to go down. Nope. Take off. Take out that buy side. Remember, we talked about this here. We said that right there is our 5-minute break in market structure. That right there was our 5-minute change in the state of delivery, right? Marked all of that out before it ever happened. And then it happened because we go to the 5-minute chart right here, right? If we look at the 5-minute chart here, as we talked about, we said this right here was our 5-minute break in market structure. This right here was our 5-minute change in the state of delivery right there. Go back down to our 1-minute chart. Right. Come back down to our 1-minute chart. We see right there. Now we looking here. Trade back down into where the wick of this bullish breaker right here made a high, a low, higher high. Traded back down into the wick of that bullish breaker right there into this fair value gap. Look at the bodies of the candles resting right on the top of that wick right there. And then look at this right here. Didn't point this out earlier with the gang, but I'll point it out right now, right? If you want to get long, right? Where's the optimum place to get long from? Not just in a discount, but where? Where's the optimum place to get long from?
Below and open.
Below or open, right? What did we said this line right here was? Right? Below or open. Below or near open. Very good. What do we say that line right there was? Shout out to everybody pulling up the hard hit answers.
Midnight.
That's the midnight open. So that's the open of the day for the algorithm, right? Now, let's look at this very, very closely. Remember this line right here, right? That was the line where the algorithm was trading to this liquidity to get ready to move into the change of state of delivery, right? What do we say? When we came down below this area right here, right, we were trapping traders, right? So we were manipulating traders below this old low, this old prior low, right? This right here is the midnight open. When we went above the midnight open, right? And then we dropped below the midnight open, right? And induce people to sell below the midnight open right here, right? We went below the midnight open, induce people to sell, right? So right now, this midnight open has people trapped underwater, right? And look what the algorithm did. Doesn't this look very familiar? When we got below this right here and we displaced away, what did the algorithm do here? Traded back to this fair value gap and did not come back down there to let anybody mitigate anything, right? Once the algorithm came back up, right, to this first presentation fair value gap right there, right? It traded down into this order block, giving the opportunity to get long, right? Let's blow it up big so you can see, right? Blow it up big so you can see. Whenever we set an order block, right, we create an order block. What does the algorithm do? It trades back into that opening price, right? That opening price of that order block to get long off of. It's a bullish order block. So that price right there, that's the price the algorithm is looking to buy at, right? Come back, buy there, and once it get back above midnight, right, it's buying below midnight. Once it get back above midnight, it displaces away, right? And then look what it does. The exact same thing. We got a fair value gap here, right? Now, we don't have an expansion counter this time. We got a retracement counter that time. Then it digs right back down, comes in, roughly consequent encroachment. Let's run a Fibonacci just to be sure, right? Go from there to there, boop, just below consequent encroachment of that fair value gap, right? Didn't have expansion counter, retracement counter, got a little bit deeper retracement in there. But what did it not do? It did not come back down below that midnight price, right? So for you to get long below midnight, that order block was your only opportunity. For you to get long near midnight, that fair value gap was your opportunity, right? So if you was highly in tune with the algorithm, right, and got long off of that order block, you got to buy below midnight. If you was highly in tune with the algorithm and got long off of this fair value gap, then you got an opportunity near the midnight, right? And then the rest is history. Bob's your uncle, right? Off to the races and engage the buy side liquidity right there above the London high, right? And then the rest of the day, we consolidated by the London high. And then after the morning, we went up. Then we eventually came up here to a new week opening gap and just hung around there and took people money throughout power hour because they were still trying to chase the longs. Just took their money. And with that, I yield my time. I yield my time. Do we have anything? Do anybody have anything for me? Did any of this make sense? Did any of this make sense to you? What's going on, IG? How y'all doing over there on IG, man? Y'all should have came over on the tube and hung out with us so you can see the charts a little bit better. Y'all should have came and hung out on the tube with us. Appreciate that, Wells J Rock. Shout out Wells J Rock and everybody in the boot camp, man. Boot camp people be showing off. Hey, boot camp people trying to get me to do another boot camp in March.
We already signed up for it.
I wish I would. No, sir. Y'all know how busy I've been all of January? Man, I've been so busy, I'm ready to shut down. I'm ready to shut down the whole gang. I've been so busy. Boy, I'm so tired. I don't know what I was thinking about talking about running no boot camp. Ain't nobody got nothing for me? Hey, man. I guess we're going to go ahead and call it. A little later, but I agree. What's later, but you agree? What you talking about a little later, but you agree? What you talking about? He'll learn to share. Kashai said, yes, it did. Power of 3, amazing day. Yes, it was. Empire Traders. It was a Power of 3, amazing day today. Today was it was an awesome day. Today was an awesome day for trading. Right? It was an awesome day for trading. I didn't get an opportunity to participate as much as I wanted to. I was being very particular about my entries. I wanted price to come to a certain price. For some reason, I can't speak in the voice. I might be. Oh, Wells J Rock, you got Yeah, I think you was unmuted one day, and I had to mute you so nobody could hear you. Go ahead and unmute now. You was unmuted one day, and I had to mute you. Go ahead and talk now. And when I hit server mute, then nobody else can hear you. But if I don't turn server mute off, you can't unmute. But you can unmute now. Go ahead.
Oh no, you good now. That's why I was typing so much on YouTube, because I couldn't speak in here.
Oh, okay. You ain't want to talk anyway. You gonna come up at 7:10 talk some. Oh, I'm muted. Do you always mark out the first presentation gap? I be forgetting to mark it out. I don't mark it out like all the time, like because I got like so many other things I be looking at. You know what I'm saying? It's just another. We talked about this. I'm fun to give y'all some boot camp some boot camp game, right? Boot camp. Should I get them some boot camp game? Should I give them some boot camp game?
Of course, share the knowledge.
Yeah, you just trying to butter me up because you want me to do another boot camp. I ain't gonna hold you. If I never say never, but if I do another boot camp, the people that's in the boot camp right now, y'all can't come. Y'all, because y'all don't need it. Y'all already did it. What you coming back for? What you coming back for? Y'all can't come. I kick baby birds out the nest. You feel me? Because if I do another boot camp, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be over the same material. I kick them out the nest. Y'all can't come back. I'm going to have y'all blocked and WAP. I'm going to tell WAP, anybody who bought this before came by it. Y'all blocked and WAP. Y'all don't need it. What y'all need to do another boot camp for? We already covered the material, right? We covered the material. Now it's on you just to do the homework. We go through the material every morning with the price action, right? We discuss it at nighttime. You know what I'm saying? Just sometimes you have to hear it again. Sometimes you have to hear it again. Okay. Right? Let's talk some quick boot camp game. Y'all know when I be running my mouth, I be having like these little moments. These little moments. Matter of fact, let me see something. Let me see if I could find if I ain't talk too long, let me find the video so you can hear it the same way I said it earlier. Where's my Zoom folder, man? Where's my Zoom folder? There it is. Man, y'all see all these Zoom videos in here? Y'all see all these Zoom folders here? Man, y'all tripping. These 2 a days been wearing me out. Hey. These tools land on your... Oh, look, I might have went right to it. Like runs on the NQ. You know what I'm saying? 5 to 8 points on the ES. You're looking for little base hits, you know, and you wanna do it in a calculated manner. You don't want to just say, oh, price moving, let me jump in. No, have a specific reason why you're trying to trade. You can turn it up a little bit. You say turn it up, son? The whole idea behind the ICT concepts is not that. Is it louder? It's just this big plethora of stuff that you got to use everything. That's not really. That's not what the concepts are, right? The concepts are you got all of these tools laying on your workbench, right? And when it's time to pick up a back scratcher, let me see. You pick up that back scratcher and you use it, right? Let me see if I can make it. When it's time to pick up a staple remover, you pick up that staple remover and use it, right? I
You
don't know how
don't
to make
try
it
to pick
louder.
up a back scratcher, staple remover hybrid and try to use them together. Nah, you pick the tools that you want to implement at that time. Right? You pick the tools you want to implement at that time. Don't get caught up in the, you know what I'm saying, the things that's all the rage in London. Anything that Michael talks about current day, it becomes all the rage in London. All the kids in England want to use it.
I don't know how to make it louder.
It's like, you know,
Discord.
he's been talking more about opening range gap. So now everybody and their mama want to be an opening range gap technician. You think we're gonna get a 70% chance of closing? You think we're gonna get it? Man, shut up. You know why?
Let me see if I do this. Hold on.
Right? Everybody want to be a new day opening gap, new week opening gap guru. Right? Understand why you're putting it on your chart and why you're using it. Right? Understand why you put it.
It says share audio. I don't know why it's doing that. How about if I do this right here? Question. Application.
If you annotate the new day opening gap on your chart.
Is that better? Can you hear that better?
What is the purpose of you putting
I can't hear that time.
What are you looking for?
What are you looking for? Okay. I don't know what.
Tell me if you put a new day opening gap on your chart, why are you putting it there?
Because it's sharing the audio, but I don't know why it's low.
I put it there as a reference point because it's the absence in price and the market likes balance. So I put it as a reference point that the market will draw to balance that area at some point, and depending on how the candle closes over it, whether or not it'll become support and resistance.
Y'all shout out Yolanda, man. Y'all hear Yolanda pulling up with the hard hitting answers, man.
Very good. You putting it there because you looking for it to act as a magnet or a catalyst. Right? He teaches that all the time. The PD rays gonna act as magnets or catalysts. What does that mean? Right? It's gonna act as a magnet because price is gonna draw to it for a reason. Just like Yolanda said, the algorithm likes balance and it seeks liquidity. So if it's drawing to an inefficiency,
hey y'all, look, I'm looking at myself.
It's going there
I see myself up there.
Is going to fulfill that imbalance.
You see me looking up at myself,
right? And then once it does that, now you want to see, is it going to act as a catalyst to push me higher or lower? It can act as a catalyst to push you lower. It can act as a catalyst to push you higher, right? But you got to understand, why am I putting this on my chart? Am I putting it on my chart just because Michael said it's a cool thing to do? No. Every PD array you put on your chart, you want to know, why am I putting it there? Y'all heard me say this several times, right? Why are you anchoring the fib there? Why are you doing it? Why are you putting it there? Don't just pick a high and a low and stick the fib there. Why are you putting it there? You need to know why. Don't just annotate a fair value gap on you. Why are you annotating that fair value gap?
Oh man, I got y'all. Y'all can't hear nothing.
You want that fair value gap
IG. My bad, IG.
to aid you in your narrative. Right? And while it's aiding you in your narrative, you need to understand what role it needs to play.
Y'all can't hear nothing.
Just like a lot of times y'all hear me say, okay, we formed this SIBI, but we formed this SIBI in a discount. Since price, right? Since price is in a discount, right? If it wants to retrace to a premium, or if it wants to switch to being bullish, right? Any bearish PD array that's in the discount, we anticipate it to fail, right? So if I draw a bearish fair value gap in the discount of a move, right? If I decide to draw it out, I should be drawing it out with the intentions of it becoming an inversion fair value gap. And it may not be an inversion fair value gap for long, or it may be an inversion fair value gap for a while because we're turning around and we're going the other way. But I need to understand, why am I marking this out? I'm not just marking it because I see a bearish fair value gap and I think I'm going to sell off of it. It's all about the narrative, all about what's happening. What's happening, price? What is price telling me?
Muted. Okay, that's enough. I was still talking while I was muted. Okay, I said, okay, that's enough, right? So I hope y'all get the gist of it. Why am I putting this on my chart? Why am I marking this out? Why, you know what I'm saying? Am I marking that first presentation fair value gap just because Michael said there's a such thing as a first presentation fair value gap? Nah, I want to be marking it because I'm anticipating it to act as a magnet or a catalyst, a magnet or a springboard, however you want to look at it. If it's a magnet, it's drawing price to it. If it's being used as a catalyst or a springboard, it's repelling price off of it, either up or down. How does price move? I mean, why does price move? Right? It moves to go toward liquidity and go toward inefficiencies. It looks for balance and liquidity, balance and liquidity. So if it's moving toward a PD array, right? The PD array is acting as a magnet. It's drawing it to it. If it's moving away from a PD array, the PD array is acting as a catalyst or a springboard. So why am I putting this on my chart? Am I putting it there just because I want to put a fair value gap on my chart and look cool? Or do I anticipate something to happen when it hits this PD array? Is this PD array being used as a magnet? Is it being used as a springboard? What is the purpose of this PD array on the way to Picasso's house? Why are you putting it on the chart? Only you can prevent forest fires. Only you. I left my eye on your front porch step. I left my light in the sixth dimension. Who like Willow Smith? I like Willow Smith be jamming. Willow Smith be jamming. Hey, that's all I got, man. That's all I got. Willow Smith be jamming. Hey, if we was just in the gang, I'll play it for you, but I can't play Willow Smith on my thing because they're gonna demonetize my video if I play it. They're gonna demonetize my video if I play it. Hey man, that's all I got. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. Today is Tuesday. Hey man, you know what I just thought about? Gang. Mentees, to be exact. Why y'all ain't tell me I ain't do a tape reading with y'all yesterday morning? I did a tape, me and the boot camp did the tape reading, cause we've been doing tape reading every day. But yesterday was Monday. Why y'all what, you said it yesterday? When did you say it? When did you say it? Yep, y'all did. Y'all got kicked to the curb. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all did get kicked to the curb. Forgot all about you. Left you in the back seat and went and Trader Joe's for 3.5 hours. How many times y'all look in the back seat before you get out the car? Come on now. How many times? I ain't the only one. Yes, I did. I done left Timothy in the back of the GP about a good 4 times when he was a baby. Hey, I had to knock all the dust. I had knocked all the rust off by the time Chris came around. But Timothy got left in the back of the GP a good 4 times. All right, this is what we're gonna do. Tomorrow, we all tape reading together. Right? We all tape reading together. The whole gang. The whole gang coming through. I'm gonna put the Zoom link. I'm gonna put the Zoom link in the I'm gonna put the Zoom link in the main chat. I'm gonna put the Zoom link in the main chat, and the whole gang can pull up. Everybody in the gang can pull up tomorrow at 9:00. Since I skipped out on the mentees yesterday, I jollipies. So tomorrow at 9:00, I'm putting the Zoom link in the main chat. So the mentees, the black spiders, the gold members, the silver members, the boot camps, everybody can come hang out with us on the tape reading session. And hopefully the price action don't be doo-doo. So, boot camp members, if anybody planned on sharing your entry models tomorrow morning, save it for tomorrow night. We'll go over it tomorrow night. Tomorrow morning, we gonna do a tape reading with the whole family. All right, man, that's all I got. I appreciate y'all. Yep, Fed speak. That's why I say hopefully the price don't be doo-doo. Called FOMC is tomorrow afternoon. That's why I say hopefully the price won't be doo-doo. It probably will be, but hopefully it won't be doo-doo. Because we got FOMC tomorrow afternoon. And price typically be doo-doo the morning before FOMC meetings. But I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate everybody that pulled up and hung out with me. Again, if this was your first time tuning in, welcome. I thank you. Shout out to the gang. Remember, I'm going to be switching the membership over to WAP, and I think March the 1st is going to be like the deadline. Other than that, y'all enjoy y'all families. Spend time with your family tonight, man. Go, take a break from thinking about all this trade and stuff. Go hang out with your family, eat dinner, watch a movie. I'm gonna go watch a couple episodes of this crazy show I've been watching called Alice in Borderland. All right, go watch a few episodes of that. My wife came home and was cooking some. It looked like it was some kind of stir fry rice. Looked like it was so good. Look like. Did y'all hear that? It looked like it was so good. I'm about to go eat me some of that. And then I'll see y'all in the morning for the price. The tape reading. And then tomorrow night, since we got a Q&A with the mentees tomorrow night, I'm not going to do a price action recap at 6. I'm not doing a price action recap at 6 tomorrow because I got the Q&A with the mentees. And this boot camp done wore me out. I'm down to the end of the boot camp and I'm tired. I'm dog tired, boss. So no price action recap tomorrow night at 6. Tape reading in the morning for everybody. And then Q&A with the mentees tomorrow at 7. All right. So till the next time I decide to get on Al Gore's internet and share my thoughts on this thing that they call price action. It's your boy, Timothy Lee Rogers Sr., a.k.a. Aranya Grande. They ain't nothing but big spot if you don't hablo español. Y'all be safe out here in these trading streets, man. Gone.